Cheers, man.
Let's go. That's a terrible cheers. What are we doing here? Are we too high?
I don't know.
Too low?
Too low?
Boom. Right there. Cheers.
Cheers, man.
Cheers.
Welcome to TOMCAM TV.
Hello. Hola. Wherever you may be. Thanks for joining us on TOMCAM TV.
It's not just TV.
It's TOMCAM TV.
That's right.
We're back today, everybody.
With another speculations video.
Is that what we're doing?
Today is a speculations
cool.
video.
That's what we're
and for
doing
those of you that don't know, our speculations videos are where we take a video or about a game or a movie and we talk about something, that hasn't been fully released, something that we haven't been able to get our hands on, and we just kind of just think about.
It's literally just speculations. We speculate on shit that could be in the movie or game or whatever we're talking about. What are we speculating on today?
Well, today is a speculation on a movie about a game, which is, there's a lot of those going around. We got the Last of Us series that just ended. It's very divisive amongst fans.
Yup.
We've got a lot of stuff in the works, but the thing we're going to be talking about today is the Phasmophobia movie that was just announced a week ago or so.
Okay, cool. Phasmophobia movie, then.
Phasmophobia. And for those of you who haven't played Phasmophobia, Phasmophobia is essentially a ghost hunting game. You find clues to figure out which ghost out of like the 24 ghosts there is or something, and you try to figure out which ghost it is. You get more points based on, less clues you need and all that kind of stuff.
I guess that part could be interesting to adapt.
What?
Determining what demon it is if you have demonology experts or something like that.
Yeah.
All I could think was when you said there's a Phasmophobia movie coming out is like, aren't there already a shit ton of television shows about real ghost hunters going to ghost hunting fucking hotspots and grounds? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. But all that shit's kind of like, I guess we don't know what kind of demons they are.
Right,
I don't know. I guess that could be interesting. I'm going to be honest. You said Phasmophobia adaptation. I'm like, oh.
That's an interesting game to get a movie adaptation for.
It is. It's weird.
It's very weird. And there's a lot of directions I think that they can take that movie.
Yeah.
They could focus on one ghost, they can focus on, a banshee for the first movie. And then that's all about the first movie. The first movie is all about them finding a banshee. And then the second movie, and they could have 23 sequels to the first one by just making each one centered around a specific ghost that you can hunt in the game.
Why not make it a Monster of the Week X-Files show then? It's another one of those cases where I wonder if this is better suited to a television adaptation.
Well, if you go that route, then it would definitely be better episodically. Each episode is a different ghost or demon or whatever that you're throwing at.
Right.
But the fact that it's a movie makes me think that there's going to be kind of like an amalgamation of all things Phasmophobia. Like there's so many different areas to go to, so many different locations you can visit.
That's true.
So it would be a really cool movie if you started the movie off following like a group of young ghost hunters that are kind of trying to make it in the ghost hunting industry or something.
Scooby-Doo that shit.
Yeah, doing like Scooby-Doo stuff at the beginning, like at the houses, the smaller venues. And then they get calls like towards the climax or the middle part of the movie. They get, more calls to go to bigger things, which leads them to like a camp, which, the final, act of the movie could lead them to like an asylum or like the school or something.
Phasmophobia. Add a dog. Dude, I just realized it's basically Scooby-Doo without Scooby.
Yeah.
They show up to these haunted motherfucking places in a van.
Yeah. Yeah.
They got all their gear, but instead of masked men posing as monsters, they're fucking with real ghosts.
Yeah, real ghosts that kill you.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess it's a lot darker than Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, they straight up strangle you. So, like, and that's got to be an aspect too of the movie. Like, it has to be like a real, like.
You think it'll be like a little comedic in tone? Because when I play Phasmophobia, it's fucking hilarious. Like sometimes, just.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think it's gonna be kind of like, tonal wise, I think it'll probably be a little Evil Dead-ish.
I can see that.
But
Yeah.
Evil Dead,
it could work like that.
Yeah,
that makes me a little excited.
Yeah, if it's got like that, but like Evil Dead, what Evil Dead did when it first came out. Like with today's technology and being able to like really like, you know how fucked up like that goat thing, like looking like the goat head looking at him or whatever, like, that kind of stuff mixed in with that comedic aspect of it where it's like so over the top.
Someone gonna be hiding in a closet at some point. For sure.
yeah, you got it like, oh, and it's just like hide behind a closet and the ghost just like walks right past.
Yeah,
like
100%.
I think it's pretty cool, honestly. I think it's a really good, because like you think about which IPs of video games have been successful. Like Fallout is the most recent, really good example of a successful video game adaptation. And it's because it's not a direct story. It's not a direct copy of what you played as the game. Because if you've played the story through the game, you have such a unique attached experience to it that if it's not exactly identical to what you remember feeling like, then you don't like it. And to translate a game, which is an interactive experience, to a movie is really hard to do that. But with Phasmophobia, there is no real story. The only story is you just trying to figure out what the ghost is.
That's what makes me think maybe it'll be comedic in the like. Maybe they'll make it kind of like the shows I referenced. Like, it's these guys or gals or whoever, group of eclectic people who have a ghost hunter group.
Yeah.
Step into something more than they bargained for, I guess. And hilarity ensues. And it's shot in that style of... I mean, go to our YouTube channel. We've got some Phasmophobia videos that are a little older that we tried to make like TV shows from, like just all those Ghost Hunter shows. So
Yeah.
I could definitely see that. Okay, you said Evil Dead tone, but I assume there's nobody attached to this thing yet.
Not as far as I know. I just know that it's announced. I don't even know what company it is.
No clue on company or anything. So, like, say they were going to Blumhouse it.
Okay,
right?
yeah.
I guess what I'm trying to figure out is, like, what do you think they would do with the movie if they didn't want to go an Evil Dead route necessarily? Because an Evil Dead tone is a hard thing to nail.
It's a hard thing to nail. It's a hard thing to market. It's a hard thing to promote. I mean, like, it's a hard thing. That would be tricky. So it would have to be either strictly horror or strictly comedy.
Right.
I mean, it can't be like...
I mean, Blumhouse has tried it with Happy Death Day and stuff like that and had varying degrees of success. But, like, I feel like nothing really has touched Sam Raimi's Evil Deads, and like Peter Jackson kind of nailed the same tone with his earlier work too.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. It'll be interesting. I think whoever they pick to, write it or direct it, I think whoever they pick to like create the vision for it has a lot to say. Like, how an Elden Ring movie was announced. We're like, oh man, I don't know. But, with Alex Garland attached to it, that there's going to be a certain vibe or, feel that he brings to a project. So when it comes to Phasmophobia, like, you would have two completely different Phasmophobia movies if you had one directed by and written by Alex Garland, or you had one written and directed by Danny Boyle.
No, for sure.
So like... Yeah. Those types, and then Sam Raimi plays the part, so like all these people have a completely different vision. And that's what I think is cool about Phasmophobia, is that if somebody comes in and knocks it out of the park and they bring in another visionary and it doesn't do too well, they can, the IP is so large, they can just move on to a different visionary, you know, like.
Yeah.
And I think if they do good with the first one, then they'll allow a little bit more of a riskier portrayal of it for, you know, a sequel or something.
I can't see Phasmophobia's movie getting a prestige director or anything like that.
No, I can't either, but like if you get somebody that's kind of like in the inner circle of like the indie filmmakers or whatever, you know, like, you know, the guys who directed Mandy, you know, like somebody smaller like that.
Cosmatos.
Yeah, that guy, like if you were to...
I'm pretty sure that's who directed that.
If you were to get that guy, you know, somebody smaller or something, give them a chance to like make a name for not only themselves, but this IP and like, you know, because they've already had a chance. They've already been shown that they can make a fun horror movie with Nicolas Cage. So, you know, if you can get, you know, a decent actor to, you know, lead a wild movie like Phasmophobia, you know, I think it could work.
Be pretty interesting.
I think it'd be really fun.
Hopefully they don't go the young adult route.
Which one? What do you mean?
Just making something that's a little even-tempered for, you know.
Yeah. I want this movie to be rated R.
Yeah.
If Phasmophobia is rated R, I have really high hopes for it.
Yeah. I can't see it being rated R.
I mean, you never know.
I feel like they're going to want as much of their audience as they can get, you know, for the movie.
Yeah. But when you think about the ghosts and stuff, you know, you're dealing with dead people. So, like, automatically you're off to, like, well, this isn't for kids. You know, so, like, we're already ruling out the kid factor.
Yeah.
And depending on which audience, which PlayStation is known to have, you know, at least tailored a lot more of their stuff to adults.
Is Phasmophobia a PlayStation game?
I guess I don't know. I don't know why I just associate. Maybe I associate it with PlayStation because we play it on PlayStation. Yeah. I'm not sure if it's on Xbox or not. But either way,
let us know.
Yeah, let us know. Yeah, correct us, please. Yeah, let us know what we're talking about. So if you know whoever does produce it, you know, it will be backed by a video game company.
Yeah.
So if it's backed by the company that made Phasmophobia, then I can see it being rated R because their stuff is a little brutal. I mean, you're doing like investigative work. I guess there is no blood, so it's not like gruesome.
Yeah.
And when you die, you just choke to death.
Yeah, I know like 13-year-olds are playing the fucking game, you know, so.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it's not tailored. It's not marketed to them.
No, it's not.
Kids are playing GTA too. So
yeah, I was playing GTA.
Me too. So,
yeah,
you know, kids are gonna kid, you know, and they're gonna play whatever game they want to play. So, and they're gonna watch whatever movie they want to watch too. So, I mean, when it comes to an IP like this, you know, you got to know your audience and who's playing it. And I feel like if you made a Phasmophobia movie and your audience is mainly adults, you know, older people-ish, you know, you should make it rated R.
Probably good.
I feel like that would sell more tickets.
It would. If I'm directing a Phasmophobia movie, something I'm thinking about is location.
Yeah.
Right? Because the whole thing is you go to a bulletin board in your ghost laboratory, which I guess will be some fucking... Dude, I guess thinking about the tone of what Phasmophobia has to be, I didn't think about, like, the menu clubhouse.
Yeah.
Where it's got, like, artifacts from your hunts behind glass windows.
Yeah.
And shit, all the crazy artifacts that are cursed objects and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, that hub is a great idea, is a great place for, like, the consistency throughout the Phasmophobia movie series. You know, like, all, like, it's a group, right? That's, that Phasmophobia is the name of the ghost hunting group that this movie follows. You know, or that's the name of their TV show. You know, and maybe the movie starts off and it's fake. You know, like they just do it for money. You know, it's just like a way for them to make money. then they get a call and they go somewhere and it's actually like real.
Like, this is actually haunted.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, because I'm just thinking about the bulletin board with all the locations, though, too. You know? What do you think they'd do about that? Would they, like, pack them all in one movie?
Well, I think that they would pick a couple, maybe 2 or 3 from the bulletin board and, like, have those real locations. You know, like a house. Or one of the campgrounds or one of the asylums or whatever. I think a couple of those will be in the movie. And then the other ones can be, I mean, you could easily have backstory, you know, just like a couple shots that show exposition. You know, you see like a shot of the trophy case panning by showing like artifacts from the hunts, you know, things they took back from the houses or the places they've been. And next to them are pictures of those places from the bulletin board. So right out of the gate, you're getting like several Easter eggs done in like 2 frames.
Cool. That'd be interesting.
So you take a huge chunk of like the visual.
Open it up for spin-offs or.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Like yeah. So like, the opportunities are really endless with Phasmophobia because not only do they have 24 ghosts and demons and stuff to pick from the game, but there's other ones outside of that too.
True.
And then you can have different characters deal with the same kind of ghost, but have it be a different person. You know, like it's Ella Longwell who died the first movie, and then movie 7 is the same type of ghost, but it's a different person who
That's
died.
a whole other thing to consider is the backstories that are always posted inside the van.
Yeah, there's never any explained backstories on them. It's just the name to the ghost.
Yeah.
So that, you can have the whole backstory and the whole ghost hunt and everything, all that be its one own movie.
Yeah.
Easily you can make an hour and a half content out of that.
Be crazy.
I mean, I think it works. I think this Phasmophobia idea is genius. And, like, everybody likes a good scary movie.
That's true. It just feels very... I don't know, is it going to take more of a Conjuring tone? Or is it going to be like Monster Hunters Incorporated? And they're like the League of Extraordinary Ghost Hunters or something. I don't know. That doesn't excite me as much.
Yeah.
A Conjuring vibe, kind of like Ed and Lorraine Warren. That's a little better.
Still doesn't excite me as much.
Comedy, horror.
The Evil Dead route.
Evil Dead tone.
Yeah.
That sounds exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that. Or, like, and I know this is probably the least likely, but, like, brutal horror. You know, like, gruesome shit. You know, where they should, like...
Sure.
You know, people are getting, you know, fucking slaughtered and stuff.
It's not really in line with the tone of the game, but...
But yeah, but I mean, it's like, you know, scary. So there's, you know, it's just like when you play on flat screen versus VR.
Yeah.
We play Phasmophobia in VR. So it's a completely different experience. Like, it actually is fucking scary.
Yes.
Walking through these abandoned places, you know, and you know, like... If you've ever had your own kind of like ghost encounter or like some spooky shit in real life, playing this game just makes it like...
It freaks you out.
It freaks you out so much, man. I'm just like...
Phasmophobia in VR is something to behold. If you haven't gotten to try it, you should definitely go fucking try it because that shit is scary.
It is so scary.
So scary.
So scary.
Yeah. Oh, man.
It is such a fun time. Like, it has proximity chat, so the further you get away, the less you can hear somebody.
It's so scary in the big locations like the asylum or the school with the big fucking gym. You get lost so easily.
Yeah.
You lose your friend, and then you're all alone, and then...
It's
scary. Trying to be quiet, but you can't be quiet because you're freaking out because you're VR and it's your old world. And
the fingers crawling around the side of the screen, like grabbing your face. I didn't know that's how you died. And the first time we played, dude, I threw my headset off, dude. It freaked me the fuck out, dude. Oh my god. So that's what I mean. Like, that's the vibe that they're trying to go with. That's what they want you to feel flat screen. But it's hard to feel that flat screen, especially for us, since we've spent so much time in VR.
Yes. Yes.
That when you play a horror game, like a horror game on the flat screen, for me just isn't it anymore. Like I have to play it in VR.
Because you played Resident Evil 2 in VR as well.
4. Resident Evil 4?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
4.
yeah. Resident Evil 4.
I did 7.
I played a little bit of 7 before
They're
4,
scary,
and it's
dude.
so
Yeah,
scary,
it's so
dude.
scary. Yeah. Terrifying.
But I just can't play it on flat screen anymore. It just doesn't it just doesn't cut it for me. So when you go to think about Phasmophobia and what they want to be that scary.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what they're going for. So
Shooters are the same way. I know this is like a different road we're taking, but shooters are the same way. Because, we played Call of Duty back in the day, but once you switch to Pavlov on VR, no shooter hits the same flat screen. No Apex Legends, no, it don't hit like fucking Pavlov does, being able to do it yourself.
Yeah.
The Xbox Game Showcase was today. It was, full of stuff that some people are probably excited about. They didn't have any Fable in there. But also, to end it with the Call of Duty Black Ops 7 or whatever it was, I don't know.
it was Black Ops 7. So disappointing.
Yeah, it doesn't excite me.
It doesn't excite me at all, man. And none of those games are coming to VR.
If Call of Duty wants to come to VR, then we'll talk.
Yeah.
That would actually be absolute insanity.
Yeah.
I would dig that.
Yeah, dude. I think Call of Duty in VR, if they put their money towards that, that would be awesome.
Made it really good.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah.
Pavlov's pretty good already, so...
Yeah, but if Pavlov got the attention that Call of Duty gets, it got the, upgrade treatment.
It'd be insane.
Oh, man. Yeah, that would be wild.
It would be insane. Yeah. Anyway, I know we detoured quite a bit into VR territory. Yeah. This Phasmophobia game turning into movie, at first, when you said it, you guys saw it real time, I was like, that's what we're fucking talking about? But as we talk about it, and as you kind of convinced me that there is something to be had there. And I mean, obviously there is, because that's why they commissioned it, and they're going to make it.
Yeah.
So.
I'm honestly really surprised that of all the IPs you can turn into a movie or a TV show, that they chose Phasmophobia. Some executive somewhere saw the creative potential for this and greenlit that. That is really surprising to me. So the fact that whatever studio greenlit a Phasmophobia project, I feel like they have the right brains attached to it to make this right.
Yeah.
And to pull this off.
I can see that.
I mean, you have so many opportunities to make something so cool with this movie. And if you do, like I said, if you do it right, you have the opportunity for a fuck ton of spinoffs.
Yeah. If you were to make this movie, what ghost are you focusing on, or ghosts, if you had the choice?
That's so hard. Because you have to choose, you're choosing, do you want to pick, somebody who was a person and lived on the planet and died? Or do you want to be, a demonic entity from hell?
I'm talking about, all the ghosts you have to decipher. Which one of the 24 or whatever there are, I don't know how many there are, 27, 24. Which one are you picking? Because when I think about it, I think about our playthroughs, and the Mimic and the Twins, they have the in front of them. I think they're the only ghosts with that in front of them.
Mm-hmm.
But they seem to be pretty popular amongst players when they're talking about, oh, this fucking ghost, or these fucking the Twins and the Mimic. So I can't help but shake the feeling it'll probably be one of those two.
Yeah.
But maybe an Obake, too, because those are pretty popular, too. Don't they have the weird handprint with the 6 fingers?
Yeah, they got a different weird handprint on them, so... Yeah, that'd be a fun one.
I'm excited to see the production design for it. And, maybe we see, in the beginning, first 10 minutes, it's a montage of how they became a big ghost hunting company, but they start out like how you start out with level 1 in the game.
Yeah.
And you have like little shitty notepad and pencil and all that. And then they work their way up to like better and more awesome tools. And,
yeah.
You know, we see that stuff. That could be really cool.
Yeah.
Too.
That ties right in with what I said earlier with the, panning against the case of the awards and stuff from earlier and stuff. Just like an early montage in the movie to establish what had happened.
Yeah.
And it's a great way to get through a bunch of Easter eggs, establish the Phasmophobia universe, and,
boom.
just take it from there. Then we're on to just the singular ghost, and then next movies is a different thing.
I like it.
I think it's gonna be really cool. I mean, I think it has the potential to be really cool. I mean, nothing has been announced aside from that it's going to be a thing. So
that's pretty much it.
I mean, yeah, all this is speculations at this point, but either way, I'm pretty stoked about, the idea of it.
Yeah.
I think it'd be pretty cool.
Sounds pretty cool. Mm-hmm. Anyway.
Yeah. Well, at least, when we hear more about it, we'll be able to talk about it, and that you can come here and listen to us talk about it, because we're going to be on that shit. And we're going to be having a lot more speculations videos coming out here pretty shortly. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. Lots of gaming conferences have come out recently. Lots of drops. Lots of announcements. Lots of video game movies in development. So, I mean, it's just conversations never end.
I'm playing a lot of Elden Ring Night Rain.
We're playing a lot of Elden Ring. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Right?
Yeah.
What do you think the Phasmophobia... What do you think the Phasmophobia movie is going to
be about?
Delve into?
What's it going to be?
What ghosts?
Let us know in the comments.
Yeah, let us know. Talk to us, man.
Yeah, what are we gonna watch? What do you want to watch? If you could make a Phasmophobia movie, which ghost would you pick?
Who's gonna be directing this motherfucker?
Who's gonna direct it? Who do you want to see in it? You want to see somebody die in this movie? You want to see it an actor die from to a ghost, like Matthew Lillard in 13 Ghosts?
We probably will.
I don't know. It'll be fun.
Anyways.
But stick around, because we'll be here to talk about it.
Subscribe if you haven't already. We appreciate the love and support. And
thanks for watching.
Have a beautiful day. TOMCAM TV's out.
Peace out, everybody.